By the time Xiao Zhan's motorcade finally pulled away from Tsim Sha Tsui, Hong Kong's transit authority had done something it rarely does on an ordinary weekday night. It activated crowd control measures at an MTR station just to keep people moving. That detail made headlines. The one that didn't is a few floors above the platform, inside a mall where, according to reports, the payment terminals themselves couldn't keep up with the crowd. Rabbit News Hallyu looks at the story most outlets already told, and asks what the smaller numbers underneath it actually mean. On the evening of August 19, 2026, Xiao Zhan appeared at K11 MUSEA in Tsim Sha Tsui as the global brand ambassador for YSL Skincare. It was, by most accounts, not a weekend release or a scheduled holiday promotion, just a brand appearance on a regular calendar day. And yet more than 10,000 fans reportedly showed up, some queuing overnight before the event even began. That gap between ordinary appointment and extraordinary turnout is where this story actually starts. Hong Kong media described the scene in blunt terms: streets emptied elsewhere in the city as people converged on Tsim Sha Tsui, with outlets comparing the density to Lunar New Year's Eve. The mall's 5 floors were reportedly full. The 800-meter Avenue of Stars and the Victoria Harbour waterfront were also swallowed by the crowd. Online, the event trended globally, pulling in views in the hundreds of millions within a short window. None of that is unusual for a major CN star doing a brand appearance in a market where he already has a substantial following. What's more interesting is what brought that crowd there in the first place, and what happened once they arrived. Xiao Zhan's presence at K11 MUSEA wasn't a debut. It was closer to a return engagement. He's built a track record of box office and streaming hits that have circulated widely across Hong Kong and Macau, and he already carries ambassador titles for Gucci and Tod's, alongside YSL. According to reports describing his past retail appearances, the transaction volume tied to his in-store events has, at times, been heavy enough to overwhelm point-of-sale systems at department store counters. That's the detail worth sitting with. Crowds are a media story. A checkout system buckling under real purchases is a commercial one. This is where the coverage of the event and the fan-facing coverage start to diverge in what they're actually measuring. The screaming, the trending hashtags, the comparisons to holiday-level foot traffic, all of that describes attention. Attention is loud, immediate, and easy to capture on video. A payment terminal failing under transaction load describes something quieter and harder to fake, people not just showing up, but buying. For a luxury division running an ambassador program, that distinction matters more than it might seem. Brand appearances are expensive to stage and even more expensive to justify internally. A crowd that shows up to scream and record video is valuable for visibility, but it doesn't necessarily convert. A crowd that shows up and pushes a store's checkout infrastructure past its limit is a different kind of signal, one a marketing department can actually take into a budget meeting. To be clear, the source material here describes this pattern in general terms tied to Xiao Zhan's ambassador work across multiple brands, not a confirmed, itemized sales figure from this specific YSL evening. That distinction is worth keeping in mind. What can be said more narrowly is this: in a market where luxury brands are increasingly scrutinizing whether celebrity ambassador spending actually drives purchases, a pattern of overwhelmed checkout systems tied to one-star's appearances is the kind of anecdote that gets cited internally, even if it isn't formal audited data. The optics of the evening reinforce that reading. Xiao Zhan arrived in a black Saint Laurent suit that Hong Kong press described as sharp and understated rather than flashy, a look built for a brand ambassador photo, not a concert stage. He reportedly thanked the crowd for what he described as turning the sky red with their support, referencing the wall of fan lightsticks and signage around the venue. On his way out, he had his car circle the venue rather than leave directly, rolling down the window to bow repeatedly toward fans positioned around the perimeter. Small gesture, but a deliberate one, the kind of moment that costs a few extra minutes and photographs well without needing choreography. He also reportedly tried greeting the crowd in Cantonese, and had voiced concern beforehand about the weather holding for an outdoor meet and greet along the harbour. Neither detail is dramatic on its own. Together, they describe an appearance built around localized, in-person goodwill rather than a purely transactional brand cameo, the kind of groundwork that tends to matter more to a market's retail response than a single glossy campaign photo ever does. The crowd's reaction to all of this became its own secondary story. Fan-shot video from the event was loud enough, according to accounts circulating afterward, that individual voices were difficult to make out in some clips, loud enough that online commentary started nicknaming the more enthusiastic corner of the crowd after the sound of a kettle reaching a boil. It's a throwaway internet joke, the kind that exists for a week and then disappears. But it's also a reminder of how much of this story lives in two separate registers at once: a spectacle register, built for clips and trending pages, and a logistics register, built around things like crowd control, checkout systems, and hydration supplies in August heat. Most coverage stayed in the first register. The more interesting version of this story is sitting in the second one. Put those two threads together and a narrower, more specific picture starts to form. This isn't a story about an entertainer having star power in the abstract. It's a story about a specific kind of star power that happens to be measurable, sales data that IT departments have to deal with, not just impressions that a social media team reports upward. In this specific case, the available evidence points to a celebrity appearance that generated both visibility and, reportedly, direct commercial pressure on the retail environment around it. That doesn't establish how the entertainment industry handles ambassador ROI as a whole. It does illustrate one version of what brands are hoping for when they sign a star with this kind of offline pull, particularly as Chinese entertainment figures increasingly headline luxury campaigns aimed at Pan-Asian and global audiences. It also says something about why multiple luxury houses have been willing to stack ambassador titles on the same handful of CN names rather than spreading budgets thinner across a wider roster. A brand betting on visibility alone can chase whichever face is trending that month. A brand betting on measurable in-store conversion has more reason to stay loyal to a smaller number of names with a track record of actually moving product when they show up, which, in turn, raises the stakes on evenings like this one. The bigger the crowd gets, the more a brand's internal case for renewal depends on results that hold up past the trending page. That pressure runs in both directions. For the artist and management side, an appearance like this isn't just a fan event to enjoy and move past. It's evidence in an ongoing negotiation about what kind of ambassador value gets renewed, expanded, or quietly not repeated next cycle. A category-topping trend on social media helps that case. A checkout system that couldn't keep pace with demand helps it more. Which brings the story back to that payment terminal. By the next morning, the crowd had dispersed. The trending hashtags had already started cycling to the next topic, and the viral clips of screaming fans were being folded into memes rather than analysis. That's normal. Attention online moves fast and rarely holds still. What doesn't disappear as quickly is whatever got rung up at the register before the night ended. Spectacle is loud but temporary. A transaction log is quiet but it stays on record. For an industry trying to figure out whether a star's popularity is worth the price of the ambassador contract, that's usually the number that actually gets read twice. If you like entertainment coverage that goes past the headline, the kind that looks for the quieter signal behind the loud one, Rabbit News Hallyu was built for exactly that. Subscribe if you want analysis, not just updates.